Three monsters, one island. The Super 3 Kaiju power movie, in my mind, would begin in the early 1940s, slightly after the first nuclear test bombings. A lone island was excluded from the nuclear fallout, though, for an unknown reason. Three tribes of the island chalk it up to the gods protecting them. From the east, to the west, to the north, all is at peace. Until, one by one, three monsters make landfall on the island. And slowly but surely the island folk adopt these monsters as their gods. God of the east, Anguirus. God of the west, Gorosaurus. God of the north, Zilla. Merely by their presence, the three kaiju gods make life easier for the tribespeople. Anguirus, with his powerful roar, creates gentle winds from the mountaintops. An example, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. Gorosaurus, creating tunnels and fresh soil. And Zilla, the food bringer. That's a lot of fish. The tribes would help each other out by trading goods helped made by the specific gods. Fresh planting soil, fish, the whole shebang. Though over time, the tribe of the north, the Zilla tribe, would grow greedy and selfish. They would see themselves as the de facto tribe keeping the other two alive. Slowly, their selfishness and greed begins to rub off on their god, Zilla. The tribe ultimately asks Zilla to rid them of the other tribes and gods, to which Zilla accepts. The east and west tribes meet to discuss the lack thereof fish being delivered, blaming it possibly on a slow month. And as the two leave, the western tribe finds their village in ruin, and the north god, Zilla, standing above the rubble, finishing off the final bit of tribespeople, just as Gorosaurus shows up to do battle.
Alright, now let's talk about some details before I continue on any further. Now, while the tribes would interact, the gods really wouldn't. That would be due to this being a rather large island, and the gods keeping to themselves for the most part. But the tribes of Anguirus and Gorosaurus would have a much better relationship with one another since they're somewhat closer to each other. While both of those tribes' interactions with the Zilla tribe would be rather sparse, they would still look to the Zilla tribe as the highest tribe out there, since it is thanks to the Zilla tribe that their people can eat and essentially stay nourished and healthy. But that is until the events of the movie carries on. Before I get into the finale, let's talk about that tone. Despite this story taking on somewhat of a comic book-like tale, I think the best tone for this flick would be serious with little bits of action and even a little bit of horror because Zilla is slaughtering an entire tribe. Leading to my next point. To see Zilla portrayed as a villain, a strong one at that, is something I always wanted to see. And against two other monsters like Anguirus and Gorosaurus, I think would be a rather even battle. Anguirus being the quicker monster as compared to Gorosaurus, while Gorosaurus is the stronger monster as compared to Anguirus, while Zilla is like the overall balanced out monster. Now, despite how the fan base may feel about Zilla, I think seeing this monster with a completely new origin story, with this overall idea, would probably be the perfect proving ground not just for Zilla, but for Gorosaurus and Anguirus as well. I mean, these are three severely underrated monsters we're talking about here, so instead of giving them their own solo flick, I thought, why not just mash them all up together? So these three underrated monsters could do battle, kick some ass, and have a pretty cool movie. Plus, I really just want to see Zilla integrated into the main Godzilla story at this point. Gorosaurus engages Zilla, nearly losing until Anguirus interrupts the battle. Anguirus and Gorosaurus team up to take down Zilla, and the three fight it out for quite some time, eventually ending with all three mortally wounding themselves. The Zilla tribe is wiped out in the process, and there is only a singular tribe left, the tribe of the east, the Anguirus tribe. They are left to inhabit the island all by themselves, godless. As the three monsters lay there, lifeless and bleeding, a shadow is cast over the island, and the shadow belongs to none other than Mothra. Mothra puts the three gods to sleep so their wounds may heal. The remaining tribe names Mothra their god, and they begin to worship her as such. In return, Mothra keeps the tribe alive and away from any danger, and it is solely because of Mothra that this island was not touched by any nuclear fallout. And that's where I'm going to end this video. I think it's a pretty cool way to end it, to kind of have these four kaiju tied up together, but let's talk about the future now. Now, what I'm trying to lead up to with these videos, with these ideas, is simply Earth defenders versus the aliens. Yeah, I'm taking that from Godzilla Saves the Earth. Having these three monsters be Earth defenders, along with the other monsters that would come further down the timeline, I think would be pretty cool. And plus, counting all the monsters right now in the Godzilla timeline, we have a lot of alien and villainous kaiju. So I figure, why not just beef up the Earth defenders a little bit? And I also feel that not having a major population or the government tied to this flick is rather important as well, because that's essentially in every Godzilla movie. So to kind of take that one little thing and place it on a completely different land with minimal people, I also think would be pretty interesting. Plus, I also think it would be a cool way to tie everything together for a super awesome finale. The way I see this story essentially coming to a head is Mothra being deadlocked in battle, not doing so well, calling out to the gods, awakening them. They're much bigger now, they're much more powerful, and those three gods would go to help Mothra and defeat whatever monster is giving her a hard time. And eventually joining the Earth Defenders to fight for planet Earth. Now you might be asking yourself, why in the hell would Zilla help these two gods that he just tried killing? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't think that part through. You know, I figure they're all still awake when they're bleeding there and dying. And, you know, seeing the giant moth come down and essentially save their lives, I think Zilla would be somewhat grateful because his tribe were kind of a bunch of dicks. But anyway, that is my Anguirus, Gorosaurus, and Zilla World of Godzilla discussion. Please let me know in the comment section below how you felt about this idea. How do you feel about the fact that I paired these three monsters up? How do you feel about Zilla essentially being the villain of this movie to become a hero later on? Anything at all, please comment down below. Tell me I'm crazy, tell me I'm stupid, tell me anything. It doesn't even have to be nice, or something. I have been just Rob of Crazy Calyx. Hope you enjoyed this video, and next week I will be back on track and I will be talking about Destroya. Until then, everybody, hope you have a nice day. Peace out.